Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sam, and if you're new here, thank you so much for stopping by. So today I thought that we could just take a look around my plant room. We're going to actually go in the room. I'm going to be behind the camera, and I'm going to do somewhat of a plant tour of my plant room and just kind of go over everything that I have in here. I haven't done that in a really long time. I have so many plants that you guys really haven't seen, and it's been forever. Basically, we're doing a plant tour. Yeah, I don't want to waste any more time, so if you're interested in checking out some of the plants that I have in my collection in my plant room, tag along, stick around, and we're gonna jump right into it. Let's go. Here's a little overview. So we're gonna be focusing on everything from the gate over, basically in my plant room. We'll get to this area in a separate video. I'm going to be getting a gimbal soon, so please excuse me if my hand's shaky, but I guess we're just gonna start right here, literally as soon as you cross over the gate. This is our giant baby gate that we use to keep the kiddos out of my plant room, so we don't have to worry about that. But this beauty here is my Alocasia zebrina, I think it's reticulata, and I've grown all of my alocasias out from tiny babies. Little starter plants. I'm really proud of them, especially this guy. He's just gorgeous. So the only difference between just the regular zebrina and the reticulata is obviously these beautiful leaves. So it has the zebra type pattern down these awesome stems, but also on the leaves, and I just think it's such a gorgeous plant. I really love this guy. And yeah, I didn't really realize what I was getting whenever I ordered this. I just kind of thought it was a regular zebrina, and then it wasn't until about a year after having him that I realized he was different from other zebrinas. So very cool, very happy to have this guy. He's just such a happy babe. I love him. Okay, so here on my little entertainment stand, we have a couple of little peperomias. This is my peperomia ripple. I think it's like burgundy, peperomia burgundy ripple. It's really cute. These peperomias are adorable. They're just very, very thirsty. This is my cute little silver ripple here, and I actually grew this from a single leaf cutting. I rooted it in water, and yeah, so cute. The leaves literally look like they have glitter in them. They're so shimmery and pretty, but this is where my zebrina usually sits. Anyways, this is my big Alocasia regal shields, also tiny little baby. Whenever I got him, I think I got both of these guys from Steve's Leaves a couple years ago. I really love the lime green veination in these leaves in contrast with the dark green. It's just really beautiful. This is a leaf that's on its way out, and it's still gorgeous. They turn a really beautiful shade of orange before they cash out, and I just think it's so pretty. Even in death, they're still beautiful leaves. This is my Alocasia Black Velvet, which was so full and beautiful over the summer, but yeah, spider mites hit this guy hard, and it's kind of like a suede-leafed Alocasia, and I think that it just didn't handle all the treatments and stuff very well either. I'm not sure, this looks like some type of rust, so I'm actually probably going to quarantine this guy. I don't really want to touch the rust spot. I think I'm going to quarantine this guy because I'm not sure if that is something I should be cautious of with my other plants. But behind him we have two different peperomias in one pot. This is the obtusifolia marbled. So it's kind of all green right now, but it has its moments. When it wants to push out variegation, it does. Otherwise, you never know. And then I also have this, I believe it's like it's another type of peperomia, I think obtusifolia, and it has the pink stems. This was for my friend Sarah. I just potted these guys together, and I think they're really cute. This is my philodendron bipennifolium mother plant, who has struggled so much with mites. But here's her new leaf coming out right there, inching its way out. And then I have propagations of this as well, forming new plants. Here in the front we have the beautiful Alocasia Frydek, whom I got from my friend Sarah. It had like one teeny tiny leaf, and I'm so proud of this plant. I do have to say this is the one that spider mites are most attracted to out of all of my plants. This is their favorite. I have such a hard time keeping the mites off of this one. And then beside my Frydek, we have this really pretty Stromanthe Trio Star. Beautiful. This is another one that, I guess I should say this entire area here where my alocasias live and my syngoniums is where spider mites always hit first and the hardest. But yeah, really a beautiful plant. I love the fuchsia pink color to the leaves, so pretty. This here is my largest string of pearls. She's really happy here in the southern exposed window, growing like crazy, always pushing out tons of new little stems and pearls. Very cute. We love her. This is my giant Cebu Blue, which is just kind of sitting here temporarily, as are several of my plants. They're kind of misplaced at the moment. But yeah, actually kind of like him here a lot. This is my Albo Syngonium stick. Yeah, you guys already know about that. Spider mites took her out, got pieces of her propagating. I don't want this to be an hour long, so I'm trying to hurry through, guys. This is my little philodendron pedatum, and I really like this guy. Also, always getting hit by spider mites. I really just would like for him to start pushing out the more mature leaves. His juvenile leaves are very cute, but I'm just ready for something new, I guess. But yeah, that's my little pedatum. Also, let me just add, please look over the windows. We do have plastic, like a really thick, heavy-duty plastic up over our windows because they're very drafty, not only for my plants, but to help keep it warm in here because it gets very cold here where I live. But this is something that I am just very proud of, very, very proud of, and I'm really excited about. So this is my Phalaenopsis orchid, and this is the very first orchid I ever got. My husband brought this home to me on Valentine's Day. It was this year, but this past Valentine's Day, so it's been almost a year. It's at the beginning of the year, and I was scared to death because I was just so afraid that I would kill it, and I didn't want to kill it because, you know, especially because it was a gift from my husband. So I did struggle for a while, back and forth, trying to figure out her care and what she really wanted from me, but I finally figured it out. She gets prime real estate here, front row, right up against a southern exposed window. She gets direct sun, and she lives for it. She loves it, and since placing her here, she has decided to give me her first blooms in my care. Obviously, she had blooms whenever he brought her home to me. They lasted about a month before they died off, and yeah, almost a year later, she finally is blooming again. So I'm hoping that she'll have blooms this Valentine's Day on our 1 year mark together. Really proud of this girl. She's also put off tons of new leaves. All of these are new leaves that she has put off in my care. And then we also have another flower spike coming in right there. So this is my little green, well no, this is the red Maranta. So it has like the red backs, the red veins. I've struggled with this one. I don't know why. Out of all my Marantas, this is the one that's given me the hardest time, and it's lost a ton of leaves, but here we are. This is a little Cebu Blue propagation that does not look cute at the moment. And then let's take a peek in here. Here we have my gorgeous Begonia chloristicta green form. I love this begonia so much. I recently upped her to this larger glass. It's actually a candle holder is what it is, but she's in moss, living her best life, doing well. And then we also have a piece of my philodendron brandy that's rooted down in here with her and doing really well. My brandy cuttings that I took, yeah, they love life in these terrarium type conditions. They really do well in there. This is another little enclosed terrarium. I've taken the top off, but this is my Begonia listida, and she was beautiful about a month ago, but I allowed her and several of my other begonias to dry out, and I just forgot about them way too long, to the point where she lost most of her foliage, and it's a freaking shame because she was gorgeous. Yeah, that's that, and this is just a little leaf propagation. I can't even remember what begonia it's off of, but it's a leaf propagation of something. And then in here, this is the top part of my Begonia Jula, who along with this one dried out way too long, and it was bad. It was very bad, and all of her leaves crisped up. I took a cutting and I have it propagating. There's also some peperomia in there, beetle, I think. And then in here is a jewel orchid from my pot that I have on the next shelf up that my husband accidentally broke off my plant. So I'm trying to propagate it in moss. There's a begonia leaf I'm trying to propagate, and then this stem here is my Jula, the top part that I'm trying to root in moss. So we'll see how that goes, fingers crossed. I have my son's little stepping stool here that I'm about to use. Y'all pray for me that I don't break my neck. But moving up to this shelf, we have a begonia propagation here. Nothing really too cool to see. It's kind of gross. I need to change the water, but it's fine. So right up front here, we have my Syngonium molted, who has had several yellow leaves from the mites, but he is pushing off some beautiful variegated leaves. I love this Syngonium, so pretty. Oh, so pretty. My camera's not wanting to focus. This is Syngonium Pink Splash. Really cute. There's her new leaf unfurling. She's really pretty. This is my largest string of hearts, and I just kind of have most of the vines coiled up inside the pot, trying to root them down in just to establish more of a full pot because it was really bare on top. And yeah, we just want to fill this pot out a little bit. This is a Monstera Peru. Pretty little thing. I need to get a moss pole extension for him, but he's really cute. This here is actually the top cutting from my philodendron bipennifolium. It was growing really funky, so I chopped it up, and it has fully rooted. It's doing very well. I love this philodendron. It's really pretty. The leaf shape is just, I don't know. When you clean the leaves anyway, it's very glossy and shiny and just really a beautiful philodendron. A new growth point right there. Cutesy. This is my little Peperomia incana, who has lost several leaves down on the base of the stem, but that's okay. I really love the Peperomia incana. It's kind of like a fuzzy leafed peperomia. It's really neat. If I could find a larger leafed incana, I definitely would pick that up because I just love this plant so much. These are Syngonium sticks that I took from the plant that lost all its leaves, and we have 2 new leaves and some roots, so I'm very happy with that. This is my very, very floppy philodendron Birkin. I don't know what's going on. He's always been kind of floppy, but he's completely fallen over, so I'm gonna have to stake him up. But yeah, my little Birkin that I got as a baby, finally putting off those beautiful variegated leaves. Very pretty. This is my jewel orchid. So I just showed you one of them in sphagnum moss. It was this one. My husband accidentally knocked it off, and it just kind of broke it right at the base of the stem, or well, right in the middle of the stem, I guess. This is what's left, my jewel orchid. This is my philodendron silver sword, who I've chopped up so many times. That's another thing, like ongoing thing right now. All my plants are chopped up because I've been selling them like crazy since this summer. So yeah, it's kind of sad, but it is what it is. But yeah, I chopped this several times. It's not very silvery or bluish, I don't know. And it's dusty, but it's pushed off this new growth point. It's fine. I didn't know this was the narrow form when I bought it, or else I probably wouldn't have got it, but it's okay. It's cute, I guess. Whatever. This is my philodendron Moonlight Upright. Pushing out that new leaf there. Very cute. Here we have a Hoya Wyetii from my friend Pam. This is my sad looking philodendron Glorious, and I've cut this plant 3 times in the last few months. Every time I put out a new growth point, I cut it, and I'm really sad about it. I mean, I got some really good plants in trade, so I don't really regret it, but it's also struggled with spider mites, so it's losing this leaf here. But it does have a new growth point attempting to come out right here, so I'll be happy to see that. And then I'm not cutting it again for a very long time, I can tell you that much. I don't really have any Hoyas over here, but this is one that's kind of always lived here. This is my smallest Hoya Carnosa Crimson Queen, and she's really happy here, so I just leave her. Up front, I've put my little philodendron subhastatum. I haven't had him very long. He's not been with me very long. He just moved in a couple months ago, but already I really love him. This is the philodendron that gives the beautiful red backsides to the leaves. He's putting off his first new leaf in my care, which is just really exciting. Can't wait to see that. And then here on the end, we have my beautiful philodendron Pastazanum. Those leaves are just getting massive. You can't even really see how big he is because of the way he's sitting, but he's huge. And then right here, he is putting off a new leaf. It's a new growth point, so very excited to see that. Okay guys, so now let's attempt to move up to this top shelf and hope I don't break my neck. This is my Maculata Wyetii that I just recently chopped. And she has new leaves coming in, believe it or not, so I think she's gonna be fine, but I don't know, she doesn't like winter at all, I can tell you that much. Okay, whenever I was treating my plants for spider mites, I treated my green Maranta, which lives right there, and accidentally broke off this entire long stem. It was just so bushy and beautiful. So I have it in water trying to propagate, and as we can see, he's thrown a fit and lost. I mean, look at all those crispy leaves. It's just crazy. But He does have roots forming in there, if you can see. So he's gonna be just fine. He's just gonna be a little naked for a while, but that's okay. This is my variegated Maranta, which needs a drink of water, so I'm gonna leave him down. But oh, look at this leaf. I love this leaf. I love how the variegated Maranta, every now and then you'll get like this really pretty red in the variegation. I mean, it's just so cool and so pretty. This one's really beautiful. This is probably my favorite Maranta that I have. I don't know. I really love the lime green one as well, but I don't know. That pink variegation just gets to me. There's some new growth. I'm going to leave him down because I need to do some maintenance. I'm going to clean his leaves, remove those dead leaves, and give him a nice drink of water, but he's really pretty. This leaf is so gorgeous. Highly, highly recommend the variegated Maranta. They're so pretty and so easy. This is just my giant funky Peperomia obtusifolia, and she's doing well. I literally have hair clips on her to keep her clipped up because she wants to flop over. But yeah, my obtusifolia. This is my Dieffenbachia that was beautiful literally like a couple weeks ago. She did not react well to the spider mite treatments and lost a bunch of her leaves, so there's that. She's a little naked right now, but that's all right. She'll grow back in just fine. So this is my Domino Peace Lily, which I love very much. This was literally like 3 or 4 skinny leaves whenever I got it from eBay last summer. And yeah, it's really grown up a lot. My peace lilies I love dearly, but I do forget to water them sometimes, and you know, they don't like that very much, but there is quite a bit of new growth coming in, so he is fine. I love the variegation on this guy. So here we just have a crazy looking pilea that is happy one day, sad the next. You really never know with this plant. But as we can see, her pot is just completely full of babies. So I mean, I don't know, maybe that's kind of the problem, is all the babies are taking her energy, but she looks rough, so hopefully I can get a couple of those little babies potted up and they'll be cute, but you just never know. Sometimes my pileas are really happy, other times they're just not. What are you gonna do? This is my Fatsia japonica, which is another spider mite magnet. This plant was so much larger. It had some really wide and long stems with big, beautiful leaves, but because it keeps getting spider mites, I cut the leaves that were most infected off, pretty much cut him back. This is a newer leaf here. And then we have this little baby leaf. I really like the Fatsia japonica. It's a beautiful plant. And I love the way it grows. These make like beautiful floor plants, centerpieces. Yeah, they're really pretty, but they do attract the spider mites. Yeah. Back here is my oldest peace lily. This was in like one of those little $3.98 pots at Lowe's whenever I got it, and I've had her for, gosh, probably 3 years or so now. She's grown a lot, even though she still looks kind of tiny. They bloom for me constantly. My peace lilies bloom all the time. This is just a little Peperomia beetle that's really thirsty as well. She was in a terrarium type situation, and she was a lot happier. I think I'm gonna have to move her back. I think that's pretty much it for this giant rack. So let's just move right on over here, this little corner on the shelf. Behind my giant Pastazanum, we have my Philodendron Micans, which is actually doing really well. She's very happy. Look how long and crazy she is. I need to figure out like a new situation for this area, because as we can see, she just like completely comes down and like has her hair all up in Philip's face, and I mean, it's just kind of a problem. But maybe I'll move her over here and switch her in the Maranta places. But I don't want my Micans to be covering this either, the spout. So we'll just have to see. But yeah, this is my Philodendron Micans, really beautiful plant. This is actually a brand new plant. I forgot about this guy. I literally just picked this up. My Lowe's has been getting in some decent plants. I'm pretty happy about it. So yeah, this came in this really cute little pot and this little hanger with a hook, which is also really cool, for $12.98. So I had to get it. New growth coming in. The leaves look really healthy. Here's a sad Begonia maculata propagation. it is what it is. There's also some heartleaf philodendron propagating in there as well. Beside these guys is my Syngonium chiapense, which is beautiful. We have a new leaf coming in right there on him. Put this hoop trellis in and took out his moss pole. I just think it looks really nice. And then, as I've mentioned, this is my lemon lime Maranta. It's my green Maranta. Love this plant. And then we move down. I'm gonna move my Mican's crazy hair out of the way. This is my baby. This is Philip, my fiddly fig. I love him. He does well. I mean, he's lost a few of his lower leaves over time, of course. Look how massive this leaf is. Like, I want him to put off more leaves this size. Whenever I first put this Mars Hydro Growlight in, that's when he gave me this giant leaf. Right after, he just shot this big leaf off and was kind of like a thank you, I guess, for the extra light, because he had been needing it. Underneath, not so cute, but yeah, these are all the leaves he's given me since I put in my grow light. He's very happy. He usually shoots off 2 at a time. Sometimes I'll get some of these little stunted leaves. I mean, you just never know, but yeah, I love Philip. Okay guys, I unplugged my Mars Hydro. I don't know if that was a good idea or a bad idea, but the lighting was just really bad. But we're gonna go through these really quickly if we can see what's going on. Let's start with this guy in the back, this big guy. This is my Philodendron Adibopoense. I've chopped him 2 or 3 times, or he would be like all the way up almost to the grow light by now, but yeah, he just shot off this entire new growth point here with this little tiny cute leaf. And we have another growth point coming in right here, which is very exciting. Love this guy. His leaves are super cool. This is my Anthurium magnificum that I got in a trade, and he did have some webbing on his leaves, and he's turned a few of his leaves a little bit chlorotic due to it, but I caught it really fast. I don't think he had mites very long at all, because he hasn't really lost any leaves. He hasn't lost a single leaf, I don't think, but he hasn't given me a new leaf yet either. But if we look right there, he's actually about to unfurl a new little leaf right now, and I'm super excited. That's the first one that he'll be unfurling in my care since I got him. So yeah, patience is definitely rewarded when it comes to houseplants. This was a huge wish list plant, and I'm just very happy with it. I'm very happy I was able to get it in a trade. And yeah, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Beside of that babe, we have this beauty, and this is my Philodendron Ring of Fire. I mean, the variegation on this philodendron is pretty incredible. So it comes in this pink color, given enough light. It won't necessarily come in this pink if it's in lower light, but in higher light, it definitely comes in the most beautiful color pink. And then over time, it will kind of fade out to that lighter green. Look at this old leaf. It's about to go, it's making its way out, but the tip of it right there stayed pink for a very long time. This is one of its original leaves. So they can keep some of that pink in their variegation, but for the most part, it turns green. This is the other cuttings that I took from my maculata. I think some of the leaves are struggling, but gonna be just fine. This is my beautiful painted lady, whom I've also cut. She pushed off a new growth point, and this was her newest leaf here, and I accidentally knocked it off when I was doing a treatment on her, but she is pushing out a new leaf here. The variegation on the painted lady is just, it's really pretty. It's really stunning. It almost reminds me of the orange marmalade variegation. And the pink stems is definitely a bonus with that variegation. The pink stems is just really pretty. This is my billieti, who have grown back from a stump and rerooted. This was his first new leaf that he gave me after he died back. And then he just unfurled this leaf as well. And there's a new growth point right here on my finger. Okay, I turned my grow light back on. I don't know. I don't know, I need to get a camera, an actual camera, because this phone ain't it. Anyways, this is now became one of my favorite plants in my collection, hands down, not even just philodendron, like favorite plants. And this is my philodendron squamiferum. I have not had this plant very long. I've only had him a couple months. I think I got him in October. I ordered him in September, got him in October. But he came with this leaf, and another leaf which was snapped completely off. And he had this new leaf that had just unfurled. It's a little wonky, obviously, because it was unfurling when it was in the mail. But he quickly acclimated and started growing immediately. I mean, there was no acclimation process, no time, there was nothing. Like, it just took off. Then he put off this leaf. And then just like literally this week, I think, he unfurled this beautiful, beautiful leaf. Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Is that not the most gorgeous thing you've ever seen? But on top of that, what really just like gets me in my feels, gets me right in my feels, okay? Look at this. Look at this petiole. Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Isn't that gorgeous, guys? Like, it's just the coolest thing I've ever seen. I love it. Love it. And then obviously, like I said, he just unfurled that leaf and he's pushing out another one as we speak. So definitely would recommend the squamiferum, Florida Beauty, Florida Ghost. Any of those type of phylos are incredible. They're great plants for beginners. Yeah. He's just the coolest thing, I swear. Coolest guy. This is my Anthurium forgetii, who completely crisped up all his leaves after shipping. Yeah, he did not like shipping at all. This is, again, a more of a suede type leaf Anthurium. And so, yeah, it did the worst out of any of the Anthuriums I've ever bought. It did the worst in the mail. But believe it or not, I had it in the humidity box and it pushed out this leaf. He did get spider mites. It was crazy. I had him out of the humidity box for just a few days and he had spider mites. He had webbing anyway. The new leaf does have some of that spotting on it, but it's a little bit like crinkled, but still really beautiful. Really love it. He's living in moss at the moment. I'm not going to spend too much time here because I have a complete tour of everything on this shelf. I have switched a couple things out, but not really. So I'm going to show you this guy because he was living over there. This is my philodendron Jose Bueno. And it's a top cutting that I took off of my plant and I sold the base of my plant. But it has a lot of leaves and it's really beautiful, so I have no regrets. I've had him in moss now for a couple months and he is rooting up very nicely. Pushing off this new leaf right here, which looks like it's like almost completely that cream white color. So very excited to see that. We got the inchworm going on. My little watermelon peperomia that I've had living in a humidity box for a while. He's cute. And then down here we just have some begonias. I'm not going to spend much time because I've already been filming forever. I need to go ahead and end this. And then up there we have my giant Prince of Orange, which I just recently moved up here, doing really well, really pretty. This is was my giant. Now she's not as big, but my beautiful philodendron splendid. Yeah, I love her, but I have chopped her, I think, a total of 6 times, guys. Since the spring, I've chopped her a total of 6 times. She was huge, so full, so many leaves. She was taller than her moss pole, just gorgeous. And I've sold several cuttings. This is the plant that I sold the most of to buy other wish list plants. And I've also traded. I did a giveaway with her, all of that. So I'm not going to be cutting her again for a very long time. I will say every time I cut her, she is really quick to shoot off a new growth point. But it's just I've cut all of those growth points off and it's just sad. Here is the newest growth point that she has put off with these 2 leaves, which are much smaller, but that's okay. And then she is unfurling this leaf here. I love her. Such a beautiful, easy philodendron. And the splendid is Melanochrysum verrucosum cross. We're going to go through my humidity boxes at another date because I just don't have time today. Down here we have my Calathea warocosannum. It starts with a W. The velvet leaf Calathea. It's very beautiful. We have my largest ZZ down here, just kind of hanging out. My beautiful Thai constellation. 2 split leaves, and here's her third. It looks like it has 3 fenestrations. Very exciting, maybe 4. Behind him is my Calathea fasciata. Down here we have begonia. I think this is begonia. Would you focus? I think this is begonia looking glass. Beautiful. This is my gorgeous girl, my Calathea zebrina. She's beautiful. Here we have my little goldfish plant, which I just haven't actually put back in his place since I filmed a video featuring him. He has a little crystal in his pot, but he is starting to bloom for me. He has the cutest little goldfish looking blooms. I mean, isn't that just so cute? It looks like a goldfish mouth. Adorable. This is a baby string of hearts that I actually sold. I have several that I've sold and I'm waiting to ship out until after the new year. This is actually another new plant that I just got a week or so ago. I'm not actually 100% sure. I really haven't had the time to do any research to find out what begonia this is, but my Lowe's actually has Trending Tropicals, and they have some really beautiful begonias, so I had to pick this up. The most beautiful pink polka dots, and that dark leaf is just gorgeous. Tons of new growth, really healthy. I'm glad I snagged one before Lowe's kills them all, but yeah. And then I have a Hoya australis baby that is waiting to go to its new home as well. We have a couple of sansevierias, Syngonium Maria, neon philodendron. Always forget about this guy. This is my largest sansevieria. Alright guys, I think that's gonna do it for this video. I hope it's not too long. Hopefully it doesn't go on for an hour, but I tried to make it as quick as possible. We will come back, look at the rest of the plants that I have growing in my home. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you very soon in my next one. I hope you all had a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Bye guys.